Hello VC, Dark Dove back with you again, and this is a reply to Bigstar1000's Faces thread. So just displaying album artwork which showcases the use of faces. Now there is a word for that. Physiognomy, which I think is the study of faces. We'll start off with this interesting example. Edgar Froese, Ages, this solo album by the Tangerine Dream frontman. So here's Edgar looking very kind of intense, pretty deep in thought, I think. Got a good portrait there on the back as well. Next up, Quincy Jones walking in space. That is a really good portrait there. Now it's taken at a kind of an unusual angle, and he's got quite a rocking afro there. So he has. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of almost a kind of a strange angle. It's almost like he's coming up out of the corner of the picture, and when you turn it around at this angle, you're kind of looking at him at the picture the right way up. Now here's an unusual one. Mothers of Invention with Frank Zappa. Weasels ripped my flesh. This is quite an attention-grabbing cover. This is based on a 1950s advertisement. I've seen it somewhere online. It was an old advertisement for razor blades, I think, which they Zappa borrowed. I'm not sure who did the cover. Oh yeah, Neon Park. It's credited to. I'm not sure of who that was, but there we go. And this is the Walker Brothers with Portrait. So, as the title indicates, this is an interesting black and white portrait of the three Walker brothers, or the three members of the Walker brothers, not actual brothers in real life. I think it's a sketch, is it? Black white sketch, but with pencil, possibly. Okay. There isn't a credit for the cover here. But yeah, so that nice nice portrait of the Walker brothers there, and an unusual technique. Next up, this is by Nick Jones, an English folk musician. What's it called? Penguin Eggs. This is not a full face portrait, but it does focus very much on Nick Jones' features here. It's taken at quite a strange angle, kind of taken from above, from what I can see. But he does have quite a striking face, doesn't he? Especially he does pretty mad eyebrows there. But it does have this very intense kind of looking straight into the camera. So There we go. Here's another quite interesting one. Terry Riley, a portrait, a rainbow and curve there. This is pretty much a full-on portrait, isn't it? It's just his face is just completely taking up, you know, the entire album cover, and you know, it's quite funny how they have this writing up here on this kind of big, bald kind of dome of a head. I'm not one to speak really when it comes to bald heads, but yeah, it's quite an interesting one, and it's kind of superimposed onto this pastoral background here. Now, when it comes to Bowie, few people have a more interesting face than David Bowie, so it's quite a challenge picking which ones to show. So I'll show 3. Hunky Dory. So we have this, I presume, a photograph which has been coloured in afterwards. There is a word for that, but I just can't think of it just now. But it has the kind of look of one of those old black and white photographs from the 19th century that has been coloured in. Yeah, very interesting use of colour here. Also, Space Oddity, which was technically speaking his second album, but this is the version which is reissued in his during his Ziggy Stardust days. So full-on close-up portrait of Bowie here, who looks deep in thought, looking off, kind of a contemplative mood, and Aladdin Sane, one of the most famous images of Bowie from any of his from any period really. That's famous stripe down the face, his eyes closed, a mysterious kind of image. Next up, John Martin with Bless the Weather. This is an interesting portrait. He looks a bit like Jesus in this picture, I think, and it kind of reminds me a bit of myself, having grown up in Ireland. You used to always have these in every house. You'd have these pictures of Jesus, I suppose, you know, where you have this kind of disembodied head, and that kind of reminds me a little bit of those religious pictures. This image here of John Martin. So Bless the Weather, and the Smiths. This charming man, kind of not quite so much a portrait as such, as it's kind of more of a full body figure, but it's kind of interesting that you know, this is a scene from that movie by Jean Cocteau, Orpheus, here, where the actor is kind of admiring, or he's kind of mirroring, you know, the old Greek myth of Narcissus, who fell in love with his own reflection. So that's emphasized here, where we see the reflection in the water of the actor, who I've seen that movie years ago. I can't think who this guy was, His name just doesn't come to me right now. Now there's a very, very good portrait indeed. Connie Planck, the famous German producer. This is actually a 12-inch which came out on Record Store Day, consisting of remixes of some of the tracks that he did down the years, featuring the Eurythmics, Mobius and Planck, Neu. But that is quite a striking image, and that image is also used on the Connie Planck CD box set, which I also have. And staying with Germany, Ralph and Florian Kraftwerk, their third album. So here we have the two of them, Ralph and Florian, sort of starting a trend which Kraftwerk album covers, where they look kind of almost kind of robotic, in these kind of poses, these kind of very formal poses, where they're kind of with this and you could kind of see the beginning of that kind of image, you know, with short hair and suits, you know, where they were kind of, which was kind of very much at odds with the kind of you know, what was considered kind of trendy at the time in 1973 when this album came out. So there we go. I tried to find some albums featuring women, featuring kind of you know, kind of portraits of women, but I couldn't really find all that, you know. I mean, I apologize if everything so far has been pictures of men, but here's one anyway. This is Warda. If I'm pronouncing this right, Warda Madrituch, who was a Tunisian singer. You know, I mean, there's nothing kind of groundbreaking or spectacular about this, about the way the portrait is taken, but I mean, she was very photogenic, as you can see, and you know, it does make a very good image. But there we go. The Cure, Standing on a Beach, the singles. Again, another very, very striking black and white image. This man on the cover, I think he is actually in the video for one of the Cure's early singles, Killing an Arab, maybe? It's one of the very early ones anyway. There is a video with this fella, this guy, this elderly man. But yeah, he has a very interesting face. Looks almost kind of like a gypsy. Yeah, so he's on the back image. Okay, so there is one woman on this one, but I can't quite see her face. Tina Weymouth. Talking Heads, Remain in Light. These 4 portraits of the band with this kind of computer manipulation, which which, you know, kind of now looking at it now just kind of screams early 80s, you know, kind of those old kind of blocky computer graphics, but still a very, very arresting image all the same. The Mind Bomb. It's a very intense image of Matt Johnson on the cover there. It's just a white background and his face, so quite intimidating looking. Yeah, it's just quite a besides being a great album, this is a great use of design. And you couldn't have a thread on Faces without showing Miles Davis, because Miles Davis had quite an extraordinary face. Miles Davis' greatest hits. Now he is very, very intense looking on this, and those eyes looking straight into the camera. Yeah. This is something that I showed in my last video, but I mean, I might as well show it again because as it fits perfectly in with this thread. Thread.Eno, before and after science. This is a very, very, very good black and white capture of Eno. And again, like Bowie, Eno has a very, very interesting face. And this is just a great cover, as well as being a fantastic album. This is just a great image there of Brian Eno. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will be shooting a kind of a more an update video soon, maybe in the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye out for that. So thanks very much for watching.